Leave it up to Joe Budden, man. Leave it up to him to want to have a whole sausage fest of that, the JBP, man. You know, you try to give people like Joe Budden, like you try to cut him some slack, right? You know, but he just keep getting his own way and keep making decisions that ain't really the brightest. This man let Melissa Ford go. Yeah. Don't make no sense to you either, do it. He let Melissa Ford go and keep Queens Flip. What kind of sense do that make? I could see if Flip could bring a lot to the show. I could see if he had a lot of takes that he can like really get off what he need to get off when it come down to topics. But he ain't got no takes. He ain't got nothing to say. Either he quiet or he's saying something that really don't have nothing to do with the topic at hand. And he always saying something so cringy, don't he? He say stuff that are the cringiest things, and it's like, man, like some people can't even like get out their own way for just not being, you know, just making themselves look lame, right? He be making this stuff like I be wanting to, I mean, let me just say this, man. Flip is a cool guy, but sometimes he just tries too hard. You know when you get somebody that tries too hard to fit in, and it's like they try to over OD the being friendly thing with dapping people up every 5 seconds. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But Melissa Ford, you let her go and keep Queens Flip when she brings way more to the show with her knowledge and just her being as smart as she want to be. You know? Very articulate. Intelligent black woman. You let that go and keep Queens Flip? Hold on, man. You let this right here, this beautiful queen right here, go and keep Queens Flip? Huh? Where they do that at? You see, I come to get a grasp onto the situation, right? Let's just say if the rumors were true and she gave Joe Budden an ultimatum and said either her or Queens Flip. That shouldn't even been like nothing to even pull your hair out about. I mean, Joe Budden ain't got no hair, but that ain't nothing to really like, you know, think twice about. I'm letting Queens Flip go. He already has his own platform and doing good with the numbers, and you should let him focus on that. He don't bring no value to the JBP. I feel like, honestly, you let Queens Flip go and you bring another woman on. You bring, what the don't call me white girl chick. You bring her up there for the ghetto nonsense, right? And have her and Melissa Ford. I don't know how that would work. You know, you got, that's like day and night. That's like sugar and salt. You know, but I'm not keeping Queens Flip because they don't bring a value to the show, and he already got his own brand, so he should just focus on that. But Melissa Ford, she brings so much to the show, and on top of that, with her being smart, because I want to make sure I pinpoint that first, her being intelligent and being articulate, because I feel like that's something that needs to be, you know, put on the forefront first when it comes down to women with more than just beauty on the outside. Because women all day get, you know, told how pretty they are. And she is that. She's Asian good. Skin always looking just like she just glowing. Smile is just beautiful. Something that you could just look in and just, you know, and just whisper sweet compliments to her and just look into her eyes and just, you know, just talk about it, just anything that come to mind, like something that you feel like that can ease the mental, ease the emotional state of being. Somebody that, you know, that you can like, you know, get your shit off with, but in a good way, in a good flirtatious way, but not, you know, I'm just speaking on myself. But anyway, back to the show, back to what I was saying, the JBP. You don't I can't tell nobody how to handle their business. But when it comes down to business, Joe Budden hasn't been making the brightest decisions. And he doesn't seem like he the brightest when it comes down to, you know, making moves and just changes. Like you let Rory and Maul go, and they were like the best thing smoking to the JBP. They had their own mindset. They didn't agree with everything you said. And they were somebody that you could respect. Shout out to Rory and Maul. And I like Ice, and I like Ish. And the reason why I like Ish is because Ish has his own mind state. He doesn't, you know, fall victim to, I don't want to say fall victim, but he don't always cater and kiss Joe ass, man. You know? He's his own man. Ice, he's his own man at times too, but he has his episodes. But Queen's Flip, he's the kiss queen. He's the kiss the boss. Y'all know where I'm going with that. You just watch the JBP show, you see what I'm talking about. He be kissing ass, boy. It's like, damn, Flip, you really need to be a part of this show that bad? The way it come down to this, how about you just do your job and do your research on whatever topics that's being discussed, and you ain't got to do all that, player. You ain't got to do all that. You make yourself look bad by being so extra on the pod. And I don't want to sit up there and say this, but I mean, I can't unsee what I see. And people pressing them on the streets. It's like, they see the pod and they be like, man, that nigga, when I see him, it's up. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, honestly, he need to carry himself different when he do these vlogs now, because you ain't, you know, the flipping tables, all that nonsense he used to do. If you moving different now, you have to have a real security. And especially Flip, like he like 5'2", 5'3". But I feel like this was a terrible decision, you letting Melissa Ford go and bringing in Queen's Flip, because she brought so much value to the show. You know, she brought so much to the show. And last but not least, the looks are last. You know, but just, you know, what she knows, and it just how well, like I said, or how articulate she is, and just how intelligent she is. Like, she brought way more value to the show. And I just love looking at and just watching and listening to her. You know, why wouldn't you want to listen to a woman that knows what she's talking about? And on top of that, you know, her beauty, you know, exemplifies like that all in one nutshell. Like, she got all that. And then she's smart. Why wouldn't you want to listen to her? I can listen to her. As long as she making sense and being intelligent like she is, I can listen to her fine ass talk all day. It takes a woman more than just looks in order to just listen to her. You know, I ain't just gonna listen to a woman just because she look good. But if she's smart and she look good, oh, she got my attention. Because she bring more to the table other than just her looks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not like that's just a bad move. And the don't call me white girl, I just feel like she's just too hood. You know, you gotta have an audience that you feel that you gotta like grasp on to different races that will be able to look at the show and just have an understanding of the show, or you can say overstand of the show, without feeling like they in a trap house while they listening to her talk. You know, you want to have a female's opinion that's not going to make you feel like, damn, where they get her from? You don't want the audience to feel like that. You know, of course they'll get used to it in due time, if she even stay there for that long period of time. But I don't even see her staying there, because if you get rid of Melissa Ford, that's just don't really like. She don't seem like she caused no problems. She just come in just to do her job. And it seemed like, you know, I don't know, but it feels as if people try to just, you know, come at her and try to create something when there's nothing to create. And it's like, when you got somebody who brings consistent value to the show with, you know, what they want to speak on, whatever topics that may be that's discussed, she always consistent in that department, versus somebody that don't really have or don't really know nothing to even say. And on top of that, it's like I thought her and Flip was like, you know, cool, but Flip's always makes something awkward by doing a little too much, and when he talks, he don't even got no sort of type of flyness or nothing, smoothness, and none of his delivery in his speech. And you can kind of tell too, because every time you dress him, every time you see him, you always wearing, you know, jogging pants and a t-shirt. It's like, damn, my nigga, do you have any fly gear? But it's like when he speaks, it just be cringy, and it's like sometimes I'd be like, man, shut up, like save yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be seem like you be making Melissa Ford feel uncomfortable. And I'll be like, wish I could just like jump into the TV screen and just be like, hey, Flip, move to the side, man. Let me sit right here. Let me make her feel more comfortable, because you making her feel uncomfortable because you being cringy. But it's like, you know, I know what they say about Scorpio women, but I don't feel like that's in her case. And the reason why I say that is because she mixed with black and white. So it's like, I feel like that kind of takes her off the cliche what you would, feel from a Scorpio woman, because Scorpio woman can be two-faced. You know, they can be two-faced and untrustworthy. I'm just not all Scorpio women, but I'm saying like that's the narrative, that when it comes down to Scorpio women, that's what's being said. And I really never saw anything different otherwise. But when when Melissa Ford in other hands, like, I feel like she's just a cool person that's just misunderstood just from, outside looking in. But hey, what do I know? But I'm just saying that was a bad move, and that's the whole reason why I say it's a bad move. Sensei's Reality. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll let y'all in the next one. One love. Peace.